Hey, welcome to another Valley Forged. We are again talking about the Atomstack Hurricane. I just decided I was going to make my, best-selling file, whatever. And we're going to do a little bit of thicker stuff today. 1/4 inch, 6 millimeter. That's super important if you're going to do one of my best sellers is the Lord's Prayer Cross. And, I appreciate that everybody has been giving me such amazing comments on that file. Lots of people have come to me and said, hey, I did a show and they sold out. And then now, hey, I want you to make this or that. And, it's been really good. And I do appreciate it. I've told many stories that it's, all of my family has just begged me for it. And that's how it really came about. But, if you're going to get a laser and you're going to want to make this consistently, it's nice to know if you can have one that will do consistently in one pass, saving you some time, and that you know that it's going to come out. And that's the important part, without a bunch of pieces that you have to deal with all the time that, you have to use your scalpel behind and try and get out these little pieces. It's just a nightmare and it's going to kill your business. So making sure that you can get that done and that it comes out clean and that you have to do as little after work, as possible, because, hey, it just really saves you a lot of time to make more and do your other things. And it saves wood, not making mistakes. I also decided to try one in acrylic because one of my customers had sent me a picture of that and it looked amazing. But since, I wasn't using a CO2 at the time, it just didn't make sense. Yes, you could do it with a diode laser, but it probably won't look super good because although there are some acrylics that you could do with a diode laser, it's just not as crisp. Bottom line, I think I showed that in the last video. So I felt, comfortable that I can do this with the CO2 laser like this one, and it's going to be beautiful. And I had both mostly positive, but I did have a negative experience, and I'm going to show you that when it comes up. Now, with the wood cross, I decided to make the small version, and that's because, believe it or not, it is way harder to make the small version than it is to make the large version. So I don't think I've talked about that before, maybe the first video. But anybody watching this that does that file, just know that it is harder to do the small one because the little tiny letters, getting them to not be burnt, and some of you know exactly what I mean, is difficult. And then all the pieces want to stick inside the holes because they're so small, right? And so they just want to attach themselves. So you kind of got to knock them out. So this was a really great try. I'm also using 1/4 inch walnut on purpose because that's kind of one of the hardest woods. And if I can do that with MDF core, some people get, I'm not using a hardwood. That's actually probably not a good idea to use solid hardwood just because the warping and it's also going to be super expensive. But if you get the wood for free, hey, go for it. So just so you know, when I make these, I end up finishing both sides just so that, it keeps sealed on both sides. And I'll put up a picture of this. It came out beautifully. And, everything cut out and it was very, very nice. So being able to do a 1/4 inch walnut, both sides with an MDF core, I get it from Craft Closet, of course. Link for everything that I talk about below, the Atomstacks, lasers, and Craft Closet, and of course where you can get my files. Nothing bad to say about that. So I decided, hey, I'm going to try and do the acrylic version. And it was going beautifully. I mean, just as crisp as could be. It was just wonderful. And then all of a sudden I get a beep, and right in the middle of my project, it starts flashing red. And I'm looking at it and everything was going fine. So this gets to one negative is the flame detection can be hit or miss on lasers. And I usually turn it off because, you know, you get halfway through a piece of acrylic like this and it just, maybe it hits the light weird or something and it goes off and now you've wasted a piece of acrylic. So what I've done is turned it off. Now, if you're working, say, like on a laser that you could see from all sides, which is my favorite, you're going to know if there is a fire. And I think a flame retardant blanket is actually probably the best way for lasers to be able to put any small fires out without ruining your laser or, you know, putting water everywhere. Now, this laser does have a full system that you can get for putting out fires, and it has flame detection. And I think that's pretty important because it's hard to see in. So if you had a fire starting, how would you know it was happening unless you were literally looking directly down at the machine? And that's not always possible because, again, you have to be looking down on it. Who's going to do that 24/7? So I get that, but the fact is that I have such a strong air sucking system coming out the back, and I'm going to show you about that. I tested the Atomstack air filter, which has a really strong pull and a really great fan in it. So there was no way there was any flame happening. I mean, I was looking at it. So there is two ways to turn it off. I will put the code for Lightburn up on the screen. The other way is using the Atomstack software where you can just flip switches for all of this. So that's the easiest way. But you could put the code in the console and this will turn it off. And I'll put both the on and the off. And so that you would be able to do that. Just realize that you're doing it with the knowledge that if a fire starts, it's not going to let you know. So just have that in mind. But I have turned mine off and I redid it and it came out. I mean, just take a look at this. In fact, I have it right here. Take a look at this. This is just absolutely perfect. I'll put up a picture. But I mean, there's not a lick of anything. I'm taking the hardest part, let's be real, is taking off the paper if you're going to leave it on. And I would suggest you do that just because it makes it so perfect. I can't even believe it's just, there's no note of burn on the sides, on the inside, on anything. It's about as crisp as you could possibly get. So I will finish this. I didn't get a chance to glue it together because I got to use plastic glue, which isn't your usual glue. It's easy to get on Amazon, but you know, I want to take my time, do it right, and I wanted to get this video out to you. But absolutely gorgeous. And so except for my one little hiccup with the flame detection, everything worked perfectly. So I would be able to make hundreds of these without any worries, without any problems. Now that is 3mm acrylic, and I think it works just fine for this particular thing. But I make two parts of the base that have the slot in it and glue those together so that I have a more firm base. So if you go back to my original video showing you how to make the Lord's Prayer cross, it shows you how to measure the thickness of, you know, your slot to make sure that you get that right. That's the thing most people get wrong if they get anything wrong. But luckily, all you got to do is remake that part. You don't have to remake the whole cross. So yeah, this is the file itself. And yeah, you just make two of these and then you know, make sure that this is the correct width, not height, just the width. And you should be good to go. Now, you're not seeing a ton of filming on the laser itself. And that is because it has a dark cover that you can see through. You can see through it right where the laser is, and that's to protect your eyes. And as I've said before, this makes it more difficult for you to be able to see easily, and it is definitely hard to film. So I put a camera inside as best I could, but you got to realize the gantry is going to hit the camera unless I put it in one particular spot. So it's difficult to film inside the machine, but I did the best I could, I think, and I hope that turned out okay for you. Overall, really, really nice machine. As I've said in my other videos, the most well-built laser I've ever had, as far as just solid construction and well-built. It just feels really, really good. I'm sure there are better lasers out there for 20 grand or whatever that are going to be maybe higher quality. But as far as this level of cost, I don't think you could do much better as far as build quality. The power is amazing. It could do all of my files really well, as you've seen in the last two videos. So that's kind of what I feel is most important. That's 90% of what everybody's going to be doing out there with a laser is these types of projects. Will it do 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch? I have no idea. I have not tried that yet. Maybe I'll try it, but it really doesn't fit what I'm trying to do as a business. And I don't think that's kind of the use case for it. If I was going to be doing a lot of 1/2 inch mostly, I would probably buy a full size 150 watt CO2 laser, but I don't have the room for that. And it just doesn't really make sense for the business that I have. So I'm sure there's other questions. Please put them down below, and I'll try and answer as best I can. Atomstack is a wonderful company. I'm very glad that they're coming into the CO2 space, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do. So again, links below for everything. Like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Love y'all.